Alright guys, I posted a build recently about Inca Drush here. I just would like to simulate a follow-up there. We're just growing our economy, making skirmishers and eagles. If you didn't watch this video, is the video previously on this, posted on this channel. And the idea here is just to keep adding up economy so that you can increase your food production and so on. I personally recommend you to get up to, let's say, 18 farms, so that you can keep a good food production to upgrade elite eagle and eagle warrior and all of those stuffs later on. Once you have added enough villagers towards that, you can actually choose towards the gold. You can send your villagers to the gold. We can keep upgrading our army. We can pressure here still during Feudal Age with these units. This is honestly perfect to play against a follow-up from some guy that tries to play archer counter to your Drush. About the berry villagers, since we already have 18 farmers, once those guys are done with the berries, you can send them to other resources. My personal recommendation, wood. Wood is great. You can use wood to invest later during Castle Age in town centers. You can invest into a lot of stuff here. You can invest into barracks, town centers, ballistics, whatever you want. Yeah, we took a terrible fight there. No reason for us to take that fight, huh? Let's just go back. We're about to click up here. That's a bit longer Feudal Age, but that's because we are constantly producing army. Let's split our villagers on the wood lines. If we want, we can already invest like into a second lumber camp here, but since we have two different lumber camps in the original build, that's probably not fully necessary, okay? Alright, so our opponents is playing ranged units. Let's say that we want to keep skirmishers, but we also want to make a transition into eagles. So we just want to have a few skirmishers, which can be useful here to counter, but we already want to go for the eagles. We can already invest into our second barracks. You can already get the gold upgrade. If you didn't, you can already get horse collar, but we did get in our original build. You can reinforce your walls, and honestly, when you reinforce your walls with like a few houses, which is something that we commonly do in many builds, you are actually gonna boost up your population, and it's like if you're playing with hunts. You are not gonna get idle or anything anymore, so that's a very beginner friendly civilization in that matter. Its bonus are easier to use. We are already benefiting from two armies that cost less food. We are already benefiting from the houses, so I'm gonna enforce that this civilization has a lot of potential, especially in lower elos, and I think that players are just ignoring how strong that can be. By the way, the longer our Feudal Age is, the more resources we have once we advance to Castle Age. We can pretty much adapt on this situation and choose to do anything. Let's take a look. We have almost 700 wood, more than 500 food, a lot of gold to keep producing army, and even adding monks or siege if you want, and get all the upgrades. So let's prioritize. It doesn't matter which build you're taking, I want you to always to get Bosal if you have enough resources. Then we can get elite skirmisher. We can get Bodkin arrow. Oh, I want my skirmishers to have more accuracy. You can add a university with several of your villagers to boost its time and go for like ballistics. If you don't know where to send villagers, send them to the wood. You can upgrade Eagle Warrior. You can upgrade Squires to increase their speed. Once we have enough resources, we can also go for ballistics. Okay. And now we have upgraded elite skirmishers, upgraded Eagle Warriors. Just a few armors missing for us to fight against the enemy archers, so let's also focus on those. But let's also start building another town center to keep developing our economy. We have reinforced part of our walls. We have an army. We're always going to adapt on how much investment you need into the army and how much you need and how much you can actually invest into the economy. If you feel you need to invest more in army, you can add more barracks, you can add more archer ranges, you can add more farms to boost your army production. You don't have to rush these TCs if you're playing a more army intensive kind of game. But since this game is a bit more passive, we can just play it like that. So that's basically a transition. That's the builds we want to get. Oh, I know I'm going to play against ranged units. My friend, get all of your armors here, because that will minimize a lot the potential damage that you can take from those units. So let's do it. Let's get chainmail armor. Later we can get, oh no, sorry, let's get the skirmisher armor. Later we get the eagle armor, so we can already trade against enemy skirmishers. We can already keep pressuring here with our barracks. If you make a TC, also spend farms around it, so you can keep this production. And that's it. You won't idle your TC, you won't idle your barracks if you are always producing farms. That's something for you guys to learn. You can even go there, create a huge economy here. We already have like 26 farms. We're making 2 armies that require food. Despite it being low food, it's still food, so we still need that investment. You can already plan where you're going to add mortal centers, and that's basically a follow-up. You focus on the upgrades you need, you focus on the arm you want. As Incas, since your arm is cheaper, one thing that I have seen a lot of people doing is trying to outmass the enemy with their army. How do you do that? Oh, by the way, we are past 50 views. We can already save up some food as soon as we can and upgrade wheelbarrow, so that our farms are going to be better. 30 farms. We can now reinvest in the wood, make another TC if you want. We can do whatever. Let's invest in wheelbarrow, start sending villagers to the wood, and here comes my tip, guys. Our armies are fully upgraded regarding armor. Let's even get a trade against the enemy to show how strong we are versus ranged units. If you want, one thing that I like pretty much to do as Inca is to overwhelm the enemy with army. You can do that with only 1 TC, play like 3, 4, 5 barracks all in. Since you only place 21 food for the eagle, even less if I'm not mistaken. Yes, only 20 here on the castle age. Man, you can just outmass this guy regarding. I know that it's like only 5 food, but it truly makes a difference. So one follow-up that I'm pretty fond of is on this stage of the game, going there with villagers and starting to float more barracks. Why? With these barracks you can actually control a bit more of map. And this actually allows you to be pretty powerful. You can just aim villagers here on the gold and keep adding barracks to make eagles. There goes our opponent. Our eagles barely feel any damage. Now we can dive his base without any trouble. We can even get the upgrades that we are missing and keep spamming eagles like non-stop. This, in my opinion, is probably the best thing you can do as the Incas on this stage. Eagle, 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 eagle. We are already producing from 4 barracks. We're going towards 6. How many barracks can we sustain, Stark? I don't know, 7, 8? It's up to you. And now you can play very aggressive. You can actively trade, aim to get some trades. Of course, you are always going to adapt. I'm just making an example. For example, if you are playing against some Revi cavalry compo, like a composition, like knights, I want you to have monks, I want you to have pikemen. I always want you guys to be playing the best unit according to each situation, okay? We can go for more barracks and more eagles. And of course, since we are Inca, with a small investment into houses, like this one, we are pretty much getting ourselves ready to all the game. It's almost like playing hunts. You got rewarded like a lot to play with houses, okay? So that's something that I want you guys to incorporate in your Inca gameplay. Aim on the counters, kill the enemy siege, try to raid, try to get in open. Look at our production here. We can spend like a lot, and since we're making eagles, which are not so expensive regarding food, We can always already mess up some food to click up to the next stage, get the missing upgrades like gold shaft mining, the stone one, the mill. We're basically going to have resources to do anything we want here. We can already start splitting towards the gold. We can already aim to get some relics if that's the case. We can pretty much do anything. I don't even care if I'm losing like 5, 4, 6, 7. I don't know how many eagles I'm losing here to the TCs, because basically I can just keep overwhelming production now. That's gonna make my opponent go idle on his base. So that's one of the follow-ups here. You can play with your skirmishers. You can go full eagle. To be honest, if you want to simplify a bit, forget about those skirmishers upgrades, go full on your eagles and just add monks or siege like mangonels and scorpions according to the unit you are facing off. And that's why I think that this civilization is kind of easy to play, beginner friendly, to be honest, once you get once you grasp how to play it, and you can actually boost your elo, because that's so hard to counter. Imagine having to defend from that using your cav archers, crossbowmen. It's very difficult. If your opponent's not walled, and even if he is, you're gonna break his walls and you are gonna tear him apart. So that was the eagles and skirmishers follow-up. Hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I truly hope you guys try out this build because it's very strong. This civilization is very underrated at the moment.